All right. Hey, I want to say thank y'all for tapping in with me. I'm the ambassador. You're watching Streetball the Pro live and unscripted. And I got my man Tucker, aka I looked on it and I saw this the white heat. This is back in your high school days.
There we go.
Right, right. I was up there looking at some footage and going back and so man, thank you for taking the time to jump on with me, my man.
Oh yeah, no problem, no problem.
So I'm gonna let you introduce yourself real quick, and then we're gonna just get into it. Just I want to know about this past season and all of that. So
Yeah, this last season was definitely a journey for sure. So my wife, myself, and my son, we moved 8 times.
oh wow,
Yeah, we moved 8 times. Yeah, so 8 times in 10 months.
oh wow, yeah, that was a godly, bruh.
Yeah,
That
but
is
it was a very, it was rewarding. So I mean, we
okay.
could just like dive into it. But so yeah, I mean, where we want to start about this year? We want to start, where we
Let,
want to
let's
start?
let's 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 go back. So
Okay.
man, because I see this is year 8 for you, right?
hmm
So you
hmm
started out in, am I correct, in the G League before you went overseas?
Yep, I was a year in the G League. Yeah. hmm
Okay, yeah, because I went back and I saw that you was with the Spurs, the Austin,
Yep,
the Spurs G League team, and y'all won it that year, didn't you?
we did. We did.
Yep. And then you, once you went there or you left there, did you go to Japan or what were your next stop from there?
Um, so I went to G League. Um, was there, and then I went to Germany actually. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, went to Germany. Was there for a year, and then the next year was a little bit of trying to think. Yeah, so the next year was a similar year to this year.
Okay.
I started in Cyprus. That's a crazy story. Like on the plane, my coach got fired who signed me. The club
Wow.
was under like a FIBA ban. So like there was all these like things that unraveled that when I got there, the guy who was the coach was essentially, and not to like knock this position, but he was like the water boy. Like he was the
Gotcha.
manager. He did the waters. He did the jerseys. He did like, you know. Then he's now the head coach.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow.
And we're talking like a first division like professional league. Like and so like that was like whoa, okay. I just got like when I landed, the guy who was my agent at the time, he's like, hey, are you still in the U.S.? Like, hey, did you don't take off, don't leave. So, but I got those when I landed,
Okay.
and I'm like, what do you mean? I'm here. And he's like, all right, well, you're there, so like, let's just see how it goes. And so it was, didn't get paid. It was like, hey, tomorrow, next week, this and that. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, this is not my like. It was just very different environment Germany was very structured and very like, you got a working visa, you got this. Like when I was in Cyprus, it was like I had to like find my own apartment. Like they wanted me to stay in like this like old school kind of Motel 6 kind of deal, like way up the road, and like they're like, yeah, the guys are staying here for the year. You can stay here if you want. I'm like, I'm here with my wife, like
Right.
So it was kind of crazy. Like fast forward, I ended up like hitting my boy up. He was in Spain. I went to go to Spain, lived with him for like 3 weeks. Was just working out in the street, like like using light posts as like, all right, this is free throw line, this one's half court, and just grinding for real. Like I
Wow.
wanted to stay in Europe because I knew I'm more, some of the clubs on like the entry level leagues, like if you are like a plane ticket cheaper than someone, you're more valuable to the club. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So like if you're already there, that's $2,000 they save, and that's the difference. You know,
Got you.
like that's the difference. And so I was like, I'm staying here. Went there. And then I ended up getting an Airbnb in my old city from the team I played prior in Germany. We went back to Germany, and I got permission from them to use like practice facility and stuff. And so we stayed in a little studio with like a mattress on the floor, like, and I was up, like I had gym access from like until 8 a.m. and then like after like 9. So I'd be in there, I'd be up, taking the train, taking the bus, renting a bike, like workout, and like getting it back to the crib, chilling with wifey. And then I'd get back there at night, get on the machine, like just doing.
Wow.
And I did that for a month. And through Christmas, wifey just holding it down, and then like I only had a cup. There was like sign-in deadline for the league was coming up. My Airbnb was running out. And then one of my boys who I actually met out there through like a trainer and stuff was like, hey, my family said it's cool. You guys can keep your like luggage at our house.
Okay.
Like, because at the time where I had to move out of my apartment, the Airbnb, another team called me. They're like, hey, can you hop on a train and come try out? And I'm like, cool. So I'm like, all right, we got another place to stay for like 2-3 nights. That works. So we go across Germany, we try out. I ended up not being what they wanted, whatever. And I was like, that's cool. So we go back. I found another little spot for a couple nights. And then another team hit me up, hey, can you take the train, come up? And then that team was like, all right, we want to sign you for the rest of the season. And then I played like I played 5 games, and then COVID hit.
Okay.
And then like it was back home. So like, like one of those crazy years, not to get too hung up on that year, but like just to like lay the scenery that like I kind of have like had a similar experience of like moving around, staying in one place, just sticking it out and like doing that. And so like it was such a valuable lesson that I'm glad I experienced that, because now in year 8 I had to do it again,
Okay.
And so like I was like, even though like the previous year, and just to like, okay, to get to where we are. So I did that. The next year I went back to Germany, and actually got a job so I was in 3rd division Germany, and got a job where I would like practice with the 1st division team.
Okay.
I would play with the 3rd division. So it was the G League team of the 1st division.
1st division. Yeah.
I was like, that's a good opportunity, because in like my 2nd week, I was able to sign and play with the BBL team. Like somebody got injured, and I only played like 5 minutes, but I was like, hey, like I'm here, like making something happen, and so that worked out. I went there, and in the 3rd division, I averaged like 25 and something else. Was leading the league in like points, 3-point percentage, and maybe free throw percentage too, and like was playing well. And then the league wasn't going to have a postseason because it was the year after COVID, so there was still no fans.
Okay.
So they weren't going to have a postseason, for money purposes or whatever. And so then my agent at the time had contacted a team in Czech Republic, which is one country over. And he was like, hey, there's a team here that's trying to make a push for the playoffs. They might want to buy you out. You want to come play? And I'm like, all right, well, this is my first chance to actually get a good gig with a 1st division team that's in like a, solid respected league in a different country. So I was like, let's do it. And so then general manager of the team drove out like 6 hours to come pick us up or something, maybe more. And so we like put all of our stuff in his thing, and like we drove across Germany, went to Czech, got there, went to my first practice, was feeling real good. And then I got COVID. I was out for 2 weeks before my first game there. So then like I was, oh man, we were sick. We were like sick as a dog. And, yeah, it was crazy. I was like sneaking into the gym when I was sick, trying to like, just stay like kind of sharp, because I knew that once that 2-week hit, I would have 2 days and then my first game with this team.
Okay.
And I was like, man, I don't feel good, but I was like, I gotta try my best to be ready for this game, because like in Europe, it's like, hey, you come. They don't care if it's 2 weeks after. It's like, we're trying to make this push. Oh, you you had a bad game or you're out of here.
Yeah.
I was like, I've got to figure this out, man. And ended up, playing well, helped them get to the playoffs and stuff. So that was cool. That was a good like notch in my belt for like, all right, was able to put that on my resume. Really, things were kind of working out. But after that, I was like, man, I'm really trying to get out to Japan. Like, like a couple of my boys are out there. Knew a little bit about the culture, but really just it was a really up and coming like league and just basketball culture in general. And Japan's just an amazing place too. It was like somewhere I wanted to live. I was like
Yeah.
somewhere that's like I can be excited about going and playing basketball in Japan. And my homies have told me so many like great things about Japan. And I'm like, that sounds so much better than where I'm at in Europe. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you guys rode a bullet train and met up in Tokyo on an off day?
Yeah.
Like, what? I'm like, that sounds like a bucket list like thing. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey man, we're on the video game. They're like, hey man, let's meet up in Tokyo tomorrow. They're like, all right, Ben, I'll meet you there. I'm like, I'm in like the middle of nowhere, like like walking to the grocery store and carrying my stuff up a hill. I was like, yeah, I got to get out there, man. And so things kind of fell in place to get out to Japan. It was great. My first coach, Coach Kuda-san, really great guy. So I was with him for my first year in Japan. And he was such a great dude because he taught me like, the ins and outs of Japanese culture. He taught me just all the different ways on how to like assimilate myself like into Japan to like really like mesh well with the culture and my Japanese teammates. Because it's very different than when you're in Europe because everyone speaks English, and this is my first time where I started learning the language and really like diving into the culture and like
Yeah.
changing the way that I approach things and how I act and react. And Japan's a very respectful culture, and so it made me have to like become a lot more respectful too, and like to like, hey, I need to be a little more respectful, like because culture it's very different,
That's true.
very different. And so he was really great at teaching me and like helping me become, and I think it made me a better person. You know what I mean? I think it really did. It gave me a lot different perspective on a lot of things. And so like, I love Japan. Like it's amazing. It's really great place. So I played with him on one team. He moved to a new team. I moved there with him the next year. So he brought me. And then that's when, Josh Martin.
Yep.
So him and Eugene Artisan were able to then come play with me with him. So we had 3 Seattle guys.
Okay.
So we played well together. And that was the year I led the league. I ended up leading the league in scoring. And then I moved up to the second division, which was 2 years ago, and was doing really well. Was like 5th in scoring there. Was playing really well. And then the moving around thing kind of started happening after that.
Okay.
So, after the summer happened, things just didn't work out to where I was able to get, a job really, like, and get a job. And that happens, man. It's like you never know when the market's gonna dry up. Sometimes you wait a little too long. And yeah, it was I was like, man, because I'm trying to become naturalized in Japan. Like that's how much I really like it out there. I want to get my Japanese citizenship.
Okay.
And so like I've been studying the language. I really just love it out there. And I knew I needed to get back to Japan because I needed to renew my visa, and I knew I wanted to continue to play in Japan. And so I ended up, I just kind of had I'm a spiritual guy. So like I had a kind of like this premonition where I was like, you got to just go out there and play 3-on-3. And I was
Okay.
like, okay, let me look into that, you know, like let me see
Yeah.
what that looks like. Started like making some calls, like doing some of this, and then next thing you know, there was a 3-on-3 team that wanted me to come and out there and play. And I don't know if you remember Jeff Hironaka, SPU kind of legendary coach. He was at
Yeah.
Washington State, Japanese American guy. Um,
Yeah.
he ended up being a head coach for a B2 team out there in Kumamoto. And so
Okay.
the owner of this 3-on-3 team and the owner of his team were buddies. And so I was able to practice with the 5-on-5 team during the week. And then the team would fly me out to Tokyo and I'd play in a 3-on-3 tournament.
Oh
So
wow.
that's how I was able to like remain in Japan. And I was like, at this point, I was like, whatever I got to do to stay in Japan, you know, like if I got to play, it doesn't matter what division, it doesn't matter, you know, at this point, I'm like, you know, I don't care about the money. I don't care about the level. I just want to keep playing in Japan. I want to further my career in Japan. And like, I just want to keep, keep rising, you know, just keep building. And so, yeah, I started playing 3-on-3 and like 3-on-3 is a grind, man. Like it's a grind. Like you're at the gym all day.
Okay.
You'll have like 4 or 5 games you make to the championship.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And it's like there's some like, especially in Japan, man. Like there's some really talented guys that play 3-on-3. Like guys that are good enough to play in the B League.
Okay.
Talent, man. Like, and so like, you know, I'm playing 3-on-3, and it was a very like, you know, like not to. It is what it is. It was a very humbling experience. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm 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 one of the top guys in the second division, which is a very respected division in this country. And you know, now I'm playing 3-on-3, and like
Yeah.
that's my main job right now. And so I was like, you know what, I'm do this whatever. I'm doing this for a reason. So like I'm giving my all to the 3-on-3 right now, even if that means that hey, I'm a 3-on-3 player for the rest of my career. Then that's what I'm gonna be. You know what I mean? Like I'm just got to focus on like now. Like I can't like worry about where I think I should be or what I should have did or this or that. Like man, I just got to keep grinding. And so like it was a really good experience. And then eventually, team wanted to buy me out to get back into the B League and play and stuff like that because I had the visa. And
Right.
usually everyone's visa expires after a year. And so yeah, I was able to get back. I was going to go to another team, and I was going to play there. And so we moved, and then there was, without saying too much on things that I can't really talk about,
Okay.
it didn't work out.
Okay.
Not for something that anything happened that I did or they did. Just some rule wise things
Okay.
didn't work out with how many guys you can sign and this and that. It was a technicality kind of thing. But it was fine because I was like, you know what, like this happened for a reason too. Like it's just got to keep going, keep grinding. So I ended up from August to December. So August, September, October. So what's that? Is that 4 months? 5 months?
Yeah. Yeah.
About 4.5 months. So for about 4.5 months, I was a practice player. I
Oh
was just
wow.
I was just practicing, and so and I was just like, you know what, like I want to be in Japan that bad. You know what I mean? And so of course I could have went and got a job in another country and left and did that, but I was like, I'm so locked in on Japan, man. Like it's just that great of a place that's just where I want to be. And so, and I was like, I'm just gonna stick it out. And then finally got a call to go play in Shinshu, which was a team the previous year that I had ended on. It was like a 2-week deal. Like someone got hurt. They're like, hey, can you come play for 2 weeks? And I was like, cool. And they were like, all right, we need you to play the point guard. I was like, cool, do it. And so it was a good opportunity. That was my first time where I was able to just come in and solely play point guard.
Okay.
It was a great in the second division team, and so went in and played well. Had like a couple games where I had like 7 assists, like 13 points, 7 assists, like 7 rebounds, or like like just some solid numbers, and winning too.
Okay.
And then another team in the third division, which Josh Martin was on, they called me. They're like, so then I left there, moved back to the other, like 3-on-3 to this place, out of this place, now to back here, now to go to the new place to play for the rest of the season. So I went to go play there. And then essentially there was a guy that was hurt and he had to like come off of the injury list. Like how it works is Japan, you can have like 3 imports. And if like somebody gets hurt or is going to be out for a while, you put them on the injury list.
Okay.
When they go on the injury list, you can like sign another guy, and this guy can stay on the injury list if he's injured for the rest of the season if they want to, and just play. And so I was playing, and then the deadline was coming up, and so it was time for him to come off of the injury list.
Okay.
And so then I was like, okay, it was just great timing. Like my agent was great. He was able to like get in contact with another team that needed somebody for the rest of the season. So then they were like, boom, 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 boom. Now I'm traded, right?
Okay.
He comes off the IR, and then I'm traded to another team that needs like one more guy, right? So it was like it was great time. And so it's like, hey, we're moving again. Like here we go. So we go up there, and then this team, Iwate Big Bulls, they were in 4th place, and they had like a legit shot to like win a championship. And so it was great. I got there like immediately. Vibes were great. Like the basketball was great. Like the culture was just like winning. You could tell they had like winning culture. It was amazing. And it was just like, okay, like now this was my first time where I'm in like I'm able to play and compete for a championship in Japan. So my other times I wasn't able to make the playoffs before. So now it's my first time where it's like, hey, we're locked for playoffs. We're locked for home court advantage. Hey, we have a chance at winning a championship,
Yeah.
And so they had a guy on there that was really good, Clay Mounts. He was averaging like 25 a game. So I was able to come in and be like, hey, they got their guy already. You know what I'm saying? And he's really good, unselfish. I was like, together we were just really great.
Right.
I was like, hey man, I want to win. So like, let's give the ball to Clay, and then we'll all get open shots. You know what I'm saying? So it worked out. Like I just went in with the mindset. Like this year really taught me a different approach.
Okay.
Because like moving around to these teams, so it gave me a different approach of like, hey, like, how can I add value to these teams without being the guy that's coming in and being like, give me the ball, like, you know what I mean? And so like, I was able to just go in and just fit in, and then like eventually, like you mesh, your game shows, like just stuff starts to happen, you start to win and stuff like that, and so we ended up like winning and helping the team move up to the D2, and it was like a story thing for the year. It was great. Yeah, it was great. Like it really like, and then looking back, I was just like, man, like this year was just so amazing. Like I learned so much, like about myself, about the grind, about just staying ready, about like, and also too, just like you're never good. Like you're never like content. You're never like, it doesn't matter what I did last year,
Yep.
So like it really just taught me like, hey man, you just gotta like, you gotta stay locked in until like you're not playing anymore. There's no like, oh yeah, I'm good for next year. I was hooping. It's like, hey man, like you never know. You never know when you just don't get the call.
Yeah.
But then like you gotta be ready when the call comes. Like, so that's kind of like summary of like how, this year went in a nutshell. But I know you got some questions for me and everything, but
Man, no.
I like talking, man. I could like really talk. And, like, but like the thing about me too is like I embrace like this kind of stuff. I like embrace it,
Yeah.
I can't talk for anyone else, but like not everyone would want to share this kind of story.
Yeah,
Like, for whatever reason, pride, like, oh, I didn't get a job, so I went and I did this and I did that. And it's like, hey, man, like, I always say it. It's like, hey, other guys would have went home. You know
true.
what I'm saying? And like, to anyone watching that, like, might be in this situation, it's just like, don't go home. Like, just stay as long as you can. Like, go to your
Yeah,
last dollar. Like go broke over there if you have to, and then go home, and then maybe even stay longer. Like, stay on someone's couch. Like, you gotta really just be willing to do what everybody else won't,
won't
because
do. Yep.
there's gonna be a time when, like, a team needs someone now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you're there, and it's like, for the other, like, for some guys that maybe they want to get on, like, they don't know how to get on. It's like, yo, like, just save some money, like, do a GoFundMe for a ticket, like, how you can, however you need to do it to get a ticket to get out to wherever you want to be, Europe, whatever. Like, yo, like, just, if you got an agent, just say, hey, can you just ask this team if I can just be at practice? Like, can I just come practice? I don't need money. I I'll even pay rent. Like, can I live with some? Like, let me pay. What? What do I need to do? Can I just get a couch? Like,
Right.
can I just get something? Like, or, hey, do you have a place where I can rent a little, like, hotel, like something? Like, you got to hook up, and just, like, bro, just be out there, just practice, just work, and then work harder than everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be in the gym, like, and just be ready. Because I'm telling you, if you can practice with a team, if you can be there, if you can show, hey, I'm willing to, like, sacrifice because, like, I want to play, like,
Right.
not a sense of, like, being selfish either. Like, you're not even trying to go in there and, like, prove nothing. You're just like, yo, hey, what do y'all need me to do? You want me to
That
just be on,
part.
you want me to just be on the scout team and just, like, you want me to do that? Like, you want me to, like, just, what you need? You want me to, like, you want me to rebound for somebody? You know what I'm saying? For
Yeah.
real. And
Yeah.
then, like, just how you can be over there, and then it's like, hey, next thing you know, they're like, hey, like, this guy can actually hoop. Like, like, we could actually use this guy. And then next thing you know, you're on the court. Or, hey, team down the road needs somebody, you're there.
Yep.
Oh, like, prime example, I was playing in the G League. Can't. It was like Kendall Yancey, I think was his name. He went to, like, Texas or something like that.
Okay.
Um, he ended up just being a practice player for us, for the Spurs. And one night, who was it? Minnesota pulled up, and they had like 5 players that could play that night. And then they actually hit RGM. They're like, yo, do you have anybody that can play against y'all?
Oh
And
wow.
so Spurs was like, yo, you guys can take our practice player and play. And so he played he played more minutes than me. And I was like, in full contract, whatever, like, I barely played.
Oh wow.
He played like 30 minutes. And so it was like, he got a job. Like, he got a job just because he was there. He was in shape. Like, he was out there hooping. Like, I was just like, man, like, that's crazy. Like, you really just never know. You never know. So, like,
That's
yeah,
that's
man.
that's good. Well, I mean, I go back to Japan. That's honestly one of my favorite countries. You know what I mean? I'd have been
Yeah.
there, what, I think 3 times, and that's one of my partners that I work with here in uh, Washington, as well as going back and forth on adult and youth side. So I understand when you talk about the culture out there and just the people. I love it as well. So I can, you know what I mean? So I can relate to
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Amazing. And it's like, it's just, it's such a special place, man. It's such a special place. It's so peaceful. Like,
Yep.
it's so, like, it's a great place to raise a family. Like, I'm very, like, it's a blessing that I'm able to, like, raise my son out there. Like, people out there are just extremely nice, and they help. Like,
Yes.
like, just just because that's just the cult, like just out of the kindness of their heart. And so it's very refreshing to be able to live 10 months out of the year, and like you can kind of almost like put your guard down a little bit and
Yep.
just you just can live, you can enjoy, you can, I can leave. I don't lock my car. I don't lock my car when I'm over there all year. I don't lock
I
my car.
believe it.
Like sometimes I'll just leave the key in the car and it'll be there in the morning. Like for real. It's like it's amazing, dude. It's like I had a teammate, he didn't lock his apartment one time the whole time he played in Japan. He never locked his door.
I believe it. No,
Yeah.
Japan is really like that, and it's dope because, like I said, I can tell people, but until they've been there, like yourself,
Mhm.
and know the culture, and that's like I said, why I sit there and say when I give my list of countries, I'm like, that's my top country because of this is it's just a love, when they
Mhm.
come here and vice versa. And so, and for you to be able to raise a family and then be a part of the culture, the game, they love basketball,
Yeah.
especially out there. And so that's the cool part that I was looking back into the stats. And so I think I saw something like your high was 44 points or something. What was that?
So I had 2 years. So in B2, my high was 44. And then in
Wow.
B3, now that's 3 years ago, my high was 50.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, that was,
Wow.
yeah, that
Now,
was,
yeah, and then I mean, and then looking at your stats this past year, I mean, and they're 50% behind the arc. You know what I mean?
yeah.
46, I think it said, and average 14, 4, and 3. So I mean, and he was playing the one.
So this year, those combined stats between like
Okay.
teams. So
Okay.
and like I was actually playing 1 through 4 in some
Oh,
places,
wow.
and then yeah. So in my last spot, I think I shot like, yeah, it was those were averages. I don't know, and then I think I was playing about like 19 minutes a game or something like that. In my
Okay.
so it was good. It was different. Like it was like a whole different thing. It was like, some places I've been in situations where I'm playing like 35 minutes,
Okay.
and then there's, other places where it's like, hey, like I only played 15 minutes today. I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna be efficient. I'm gonna be happy because we're winning.
Yep. Yep.
Like, and that's just as I've matured, I'm like, hey man, like the numbers are gonna be whatever they're gonna be. Like, like I feel like the more that in my career, the more that I've like thought about numbers, the more that, I wasn't focused on winning. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
It's like if I could tell my younger self, like when I went to Europe the first time,
Yeah.
like I led the league in scoring when I got out to Germany the first time, but I didn't win any. Like we were like dead last.
Okay.
And so there was a lot of factors that went into that. I'm not saying like that my mindset was the reason that we,
Right.
lost all those games, but that kind of mindset is also infectious, like having a winning mindset and a winning culture and winning that, it takes every player to be thinking winning first. And so I didn't really realize that until I started to get a little bit older, because I've been blessed. I won't say lucky. I was blessed to be on winning situations when I was like the younger guy. I was a freshman in college. We won a championship. I was a rookie with the Spurs. We won a championship. And so like I'm just kind of going off of what the older guys are doing. Like I'm just kind of like going off of the example that's being set for me. Everything's new. But when you're kind of a pro, you start to be a vet and stuff, and it's like it's your job. It's like, hey man, like the guys that have long careers are the guys who have won, like, and they've won stuff. Like you look at, uh, like Aaron Broussard, who went to Seattle U, who like just won his like third championship in a row in Portugal, and he's got to be like 37 or like 36 or so. Like he's getting up there, but
Okay.
like he's a guy like that's just been winning. Like he's just been winning, you know. And it's like those are the guys that stick. Those are the guys that, you know. And so I think, and also teams look at that in college. They find guys like, hey, who's on a winning team? Like,
It's true.
you know what I'm saying? And sometimes winning teams, they don't always have guys that are just going crazy buckets, you know?
Yeah.
Have guys that are capable, and like it might be someone's night on any given night, but that's because it's a winning team, and like this unselfishness is there to like, hey, it's his night, let's get him the rock. You know what I'm saying? And so like I would say, man, like winning fixes everything, and like when you win, like everybody eats. Like that's
Yeah.
really it. Um,
Yeah. No, no, that's true. And it's pretty, I guess for myself, I've been blessed to know you, watch you play over here, from the pro am in Seattle. You came over here and showed us some love last season, in our
yeah,
little summer league, and
yeah.
just watching you grow. Who are some of the people that has helped you as far as, what I mean, just been influence or just mentors in for you in this game?
Um, we got a lot. I think um, first, you know, regardless, Steve Gordon.
Right.
Um, that was my guy that got me like into the game. Um, I know he had some like personal things that went on, but like and rest in peace too. But yeah, like that was like my basketball like father for real. Like
Okay.
went to him when I was 10 years old. That's how I met like Nate, Jamal, Brandon, Martell, Spencer, Ryan,
Right.
Appleby, like all those guys, they were all in there. And then I was actually like the ball boy for those guys. Like Steve didn't let me touch the court until I had like for like my first year when I was in there. So I was watching like Rod and Lod and T Will and like Prime coming out of high school, like going
Wow.
I was in there with all those guys, and I'm just like the little like kid on the side with like glasses on, like thinking I want to hoop, and like Steve would just be over there, and then he'd look at me, bark at me, he'd be like, watch their feet, don't watch the ball, I want you to watch their feet. I'm like, okay, I'm watching their feet. Like, I don't know what that means, but like I'm doing it. And so like just being in there, and then I'm rebounding for guys like Garrison Carr, like uh Luke Rittenauer, Ray Allen, Rashard
Wow.
Lewis, like obviously Ryan Appleby, like all these different guys that are just like these amazing shooters. And like I'm telling you, I'm like passing the seams off of these balls, and like they're they're going on their spots, and it's like next, and I'm just boom, 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 boom. He's like, watch the elbow, watch this. And honestly, that's how I learned how to shoot the ball, like just rebounding.
Okay. Oh wow.
And so like I'm just out there like doing that. Then once everyone's done, they got their shots up, they did all that, they're leaving. Steve's like, all right, we're leaving, and I want you to do what you saw today. Just go do it. On some like Mr. Miyagi, like for real. Like, and so I'd be in there just like trying to remember, like, all right, I saw Luke do this, and like I saw Ryan do this when he shot the ball, and he did this, and I saw Conroy do this. Like I'm like
Hey.
I had these like crazy like that's when like Michael Dickerson was up in there, and I'm like I didn't even know like what I was witnessing for real. You know what I'm saying? Like that was being like was my entry level like hard wiring of basketball was like
Wow.
that was my first, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know who Allen Iverson was at the time. I didn't really like, like I wasn't really like I played basketball at recess maybe,
Right.
but like I got these guys like just like Martell like just giving me game like I don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just so like open to everything. I'm just like, okay, like, I'm 10 years old. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Wow.
I'm not playing. I'm not on no team. I'm not on no nothing. Like, I'm just in there like, hey, this is how you work out. Like, this is what you do. Like, this is basketball, you know? Like, I'm in there like young Alex Shrimp in there, like deadlifts in there,
Crazy.
like Hakeem Kadeem, like Rio, like, I mean, just down the list of all these guys that's in there. And yeah, that was like my like I wasn't even allowed to do anything with Steve. James Edwards, Buddha, you know, James Edwards.
Yeah.
So like I had to like Buddha would like be doing some stuff with me on the side when Steve would be over here with them. And so like I didn't know that I had a Detroit Piston bad boy like giving me like one-on-one game in this gym. Like I'm just thinking
It's
like I'm like I don't
crazy.
know who this like I don't know anything about this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it was just crazy. It was just crazy stuff, man. Like it was just really crazy. Like, and so then like as I got older, started hooping, I started like really like watching these guys. It's like almost like, hey, these are kind of all like my big brothers in a way. Like they really like introduced me to basketball, and like I have like a piece of all these different things that all these guys like taught me. So like that, like there's like, you know, like Steve was like, you know, for me, like in my life, like he's my like godfather of basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And like realistically, like whoever wants to say otherwise, like he had a huge impact on basketball in Seattle, man. Like regardless of all the different personal issues and stuff like that, like, you know, there was a lot of good things that he did do for people. Like, you know, he really did. And we actually worked out like up until just like when he passed away. Like
Oh, wow.
he'd be like that. I was like dang near like carrying him into the gym just to have him sit in the chair and like point and tell me what to do. And so like we were doing that like the last couple of years, and then, you know, he passed away. But yeah, it was like I ended up like, yeah, I don't want to like I ended up going to visit him when he had to go take a trip, and he had to like, you know, he had to go away for a couple years, you know.
Yeah.
So I actually like went to go visit him.
Okay.
And so I went down there, and like I was in the visiting room, and it was like all these like different families, and that was my first experience of ever like, you know, being at like a, you know, penitentiary, like going in there and like going in. You know, it was like all these security guards and stuff. I'm like nervous, and like Steve comes out, he's like, "Hey man, like stand up real quick." I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "Hey, move these tables out the way, move these chairs out the way." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "We're about to get a workout in." I'm like, "What?" He's like, he's like, he's like, "Hey, tell my mom." He's like, "Go over to the machine and like get a drink out of there." So like, you know, get the drink, drinks it down. He's like, "Here's the ball." And so I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah. And so he's like, here, and I'm like, he's like, "I want you to go and gain speed, like footwork, like boom, 1-2 step, boom. Like I want you like," and we're just like we're like sparring, like, you know. And it was like everybody in there is watching, and I'm like, "Steve, like why is like one, I know everyone's probably watching because like this is probably the first time anyone's ever like done a workout in like a prison visit." You know
Right.
like, but I'm like, "Why is everyone watching?" And he's like, "Oh, like I like run the basketball program here." And I'm like, "Of course you do." Like, yeah, I'm like, "Of course you do." And so yeah, I was able to work out with him like
Wow.
during visitation, like during like general visitation, like in there. And I was like, that's a once in a lifetime like experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like in a weird kind of way. I left and I was like, I feel like I got better. Like somehow, you know what I'm saying? But nah, so you know, start there with Steve. Tom Newell, another big guy for me. Tom was one of the first guys that I would go to his like clinics and stuff on the weekends. Was big on footwork. You know, just big on like fundamentals of the game. Still a mentor to this day. I still talk to him, tap in with him like once or twice a year. He's actually living in Belgium now.
Okay.
He was a big, you know, big piece in my coming up from middle school to high school, and just always being there, helping me out. Big one, Joyce Walker. So my freshman year at Garfield, I only averaged 4 points, and I swung JV varsity. And then Tone was coming back my sophomore year. He was coming back his senior year from injury, and me and Tone and Joyce were in the gym like all the time, like a lot. And I ended up kind of being like Tone's sparring partner to kind of help him get back too. But then in turn, it helped me because like I'm going against Tony Roten every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're talking about the Tony Roten.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, like, okay. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, when I was a freshman coming in, I'm like, Tony Roten's my teammate? This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, that made, like, he's, you know, by far the most talented teammate I've ever had. Like, just outright, just straight up, just talent. I mean, he's doing stuff in high school that, like, I still haven't seen to this day through all my years as a pro. I'm just like, man, wow. Like, he was just insane. Like, just the raw talent was crazy. So we're working out. You know, Joyce was another mentor. Still talk to her to this day. I mean, like, you know, she's a big help from when I went from averaging only 5 points as a sophomore to then I'm averaging like 22, 23 as a junior.
Oh, wow.
We had a big summer. You know, that was a big summer. We was just grinding for real. And then just kind of like, that was like, all right, Tucker's like, he's here now. He's like a hooper.
Yeah.
Like, not just like go stand in the corner. It's like, hey, like, okay, you know. The Joyce was a big part of that. I mean, Coach Haskins, Ed Haskins.
Yeah.
But he was obviously my coach there. He kind of was like the one that like really was like, hey, so for my sophomore year, I was the leading returning scorer and I had only averaged 5 points. Everybody had transfers, like a bunch of people left, graduate. He brings me in the office. He's like, hey, so I need you to average like more than 20 next year. I'm like,
right.
Like, but like Tony was just doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that, like Tony just did that. And like Tone was like, Tone, you know? He's like, yeah, but you're you know, like you can do it too. I was like, okay. He's like, can you do it? I was like, yeah, I can do it. And so he's like, I need you to have that in your mind every day when you're working out this summer. Like, we gotta have 20 from you a night. Like, and so then like he kind of just like spoke that into me, and then it just like, you know, just like came out. Like it just was there. And so he always like believed in me from like day one. And that was like a guy that like at the time, like as a coach, like that's the first time I had a coach that like saw more in me than I saw in myself, and then helped me like see the vision too. And so that was big. That's how I, you know, like if I don't do that, I don't go to college. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get like, so that was big. And yeah, I know I'm probably missing a few. Those are like my kind of like Mount Rushmores of like people who helped me from when I was young. And then I have a really good team of guys now that I work with all the time. Like I work with what's his dad's name? Willis. You know Tony Willis? Tony Willis. So Tony, I know we're all over the place, but so Tony Willis, his son, Devin Willis, Perfect Footwork. They're like from Bothell and stuff.
Okay.
Works with like you know Tayon.
Yep.
So Tayon like has his program, and Devin had worked with Tayon, and Devin has been my trainer for the last like 6 years, I think.
Okay.
So he's really like, you know, from like a personal training aspect in basketball, has really invested into me, like watching film, like, hey, what can I work on? Hey, let's try this. And really just helping me like expand my game, but in ways that like fit my game, like not having me go out and just do a bunch of crazy stuff, but like, yeah, you like this, but like we're gonna add a couple counters to this too. You know what I'm saying? And then we just been working like brick by brick every year. And so like I've really seen a lot of growth with him. And then I have Tim Manson, another guy,
Yep.
really enjoyed working with. Um, and then my guy now that I see is Ben Hanula. He's out in Tacoma. So I spend a lot of time in the car. Right now, I live in Bonnie Lake, and so
Okay.
to work out with Devin, he's in Preston, which is out by like Snoqualmie, like
Oh,
North.
wow.
So I'll get up and drive an hour there, and then my weight trainer, he's in Tacoma, so I'll go from there to Tacoma, and then back home. So I'll leave the house at like maybe between like 6 and 7 every morning, and then I'll get back around like 12 or 1, and I'll like
Okay.
my workouts in. I'll do this or get some treatment or like go see a chiropractor and just kind of like do that, and then I'm just like, all right, I got the rest of the day, like the fam and stuff. So it's yeah, I spend a lot of time in the car, a lot of time like but I just was able to find something where I was able to get what I needed is in terms of like just growth from playing, growth from my body, my mind, just everything. And I just was like, hey, it's a sacrifice I need to make. So like if I gotta take the drive, I gotta take the drive, you know? So
That's true. That's true. So you're leaving. So you're 9. Will you be returning back to the same team, or what's happening for year
yeah.
9 for you?
So I'm going to a new this year 9 is crazy. Crazy good. I'm going back to play in Japan. So I'm going to Kagawa Five Arrows. It's a new team, so I haven't played for them. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, it's they're really have a good history with winning and being a great team. They have been really good the last 2 years, really close to winning championships. And this year, that's like the main goal is like, hey, we got to win. We're gonna win this championship. They've signed some really good local players, really good imports. Another Seattle guy I'm actually going to be teammates with is Jacob Lampkin. He
Okay.
went to O'Day, played for Rotary too. So I get to be with another Seattle guy. There's actually a few of us out there in Japan playing. Big Josh,
Okay.
remember Big Josh?
Yeah.
He's out there still playing. Yeah, so it's yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to go back. You know, I know some of my teammates already, and I'm really excited to play with them. I'm trying to enjoy the off season, enjoy the downtime and the family time, and do that obviously while working out. But like my mind is also just like still like so ready to like get back. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just ready to get back to it, man. But like it's always good to kind of just like chill a little bit too, you know?
Right. Right. So I saw. I don't know. It was a little post, a podcast. Your pod is it going to be your podcast? It said, ball, I think it was the Ball Boy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where this all came from was the ball.
Okay.
So like
Yes.
the Ball Boy podcast, like I'm the ball boy, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, like uh I got some podcasts that are in the vault right now that I've
Okay.
recorded and stuff. It's just, you know, I haven't just had the time to really dedicate to that.
Okay.
I'm really focusing on like learning Japanese right now, and I got a tutor, and I work with him like 2-3 times a week, and like
Wow.
I got a kid, and so like there will be a time when that's gonna like be a thing, and I'm gonna I already went back and I got a video with Ryan Appleby, and like uh, that was big for me because he's one of the guys I was rebounding for, and
Yeah.
best shooter in University of Washington history. Still a mentor for me to this day too. I still talk to him. He helps me a lot with more like the mental side of the games. I got a lot of guys that like are just really good for like certain things for me. Like he's
Okay.
big with like breath work, meditation, breathing, like just you know just the whole like mental side of the game has been very big for me. You know, just getting up and like meditating in the morning for like just getting 5 minutes of just some breathing and like just finding my, you know, finding that flow state during the game and like, you know, those things are all like really big. Like it's not just only like basketball that you gotta like do. Like you're gonna be overseas for 10 months, man. There's so many like ebbs and flows and like like we're all people too, you know?
Right.
So there's just so much like maintenance that I've learned that like needs to be done, like to just continue to get better. And it's like that's the thing that I've seen the most in this last year is it's not about like only about skill. It's not only about like the things on the court, strength and this and that. It's also about like, yo, like what's going on in here? Like,
Yeah.
is there a bunch of noise going on? Like, are you thinking? Are you talking? Like, so like anyone watching, like, I would have never read a book, you know, like as a rookie or like in college. Someone told me, hey, go read this book, or like even in high school, go read this book. It's gonna make you a better basketball player. I'd have been like, yeah, okay, you know. But I'm telling you, like, it's called The Inner Game of Tennis.
Okay.
Like, inner game of tennis. And if you just replace the tennis with basketball, like it'll just start to click. And I changed my whole mental approach to like everything. And so I had my best season after I read that book, statistically wise. And that's what brought me from, um, you know, shooting in 70 percentiles and free throw for my career to now usually about 85 and up.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't change anything other than just my mental approach to like a lot of things. Um, and so like that's what that I it's all raggedy and sweaty and dried and poofed out and written in and this and that. But I've had that book in my sport bag for the last 3.5 years, and like I'll even just whip it out before a game and just whatever page I open is like whatever message I'm supposed to read before the game kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
Kind of like read that for a little bit, a little meditation. All right, I'm ready to get out there, like, you know, just trying to just stay as level as I can, you know, and like just be you know, just enjoy it.
That's good there. I'm sure, you know what I mean. Some people will be taking that advice. You know what I mean? I speak to a lot of players and coaches, you know what I mean, on the podcast, but I mean, just listening to you, like, just really break it down because you hear about the mental, but a lot of folks don't really focus on the mental. Like, say, just let's jump the ball, let's just condition, but
And it's like it's something that you can't just. It's not like I used to think like, all right, I'm kind of struggling with this. I'm kind of like in my own head. I'm kind of like we create our own slumps.
okay,
You know what I'm saying? Like we create that by our thoughts. We create
yeah,
that by how we talk to ourselves, really. You know what I'm saying? Like we create that by how we react to a missed shot. Like
yep,
we create that by how we react to 5 missed shots. You
yeah,
know? It's like if you say you're in a slump, you're in a slump. It's like, what is a slump? It's like it's not because your shot has changed. It's because you're tripping
yeah,
about missing a shot. And now you're trying to like force yourself to this. Now you've got tight muscles in your neck, and your back, and you're like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're trying to
yeah,
like force it. It's like, yo, like you gotta just flow. Like you gotta just be smooth. Like I always tell guys like, yo, think back to like your best game you ever had. Okay. I'm like, what were you thinking? Like, nothing.
not yep,
Exactly.
yeah,
So it's like that's the goal. That's the
yeah,
goal. And that's why the guys who are like the best of the best, some have just the gift of
yeah,
having nothing in their head at all times. And that's an amazing gift. And some guys have the gift of having extreme God-given talent and nothing going on in their head. And that's when you see guys like LeBron, like Kobe, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The A perfect match of both, a perfect match of just like hard work mentality. But then, like you got guys like me, like, hey, I'm not like the most athletic. I'm not the most strong. So I gotta work harder than everybody. And I gotta have my mental like this. I gotta make sure I eat right. I gotta make sure I'm wearing my thing and tracking my sleep and I'm getting sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like all these little things, I'm like, I gotta make sure I'm meditating and I'm stretching and I'm getting my treatment and I'm like, it's a full time job. It's a full time job. So, young guys who watching, whatever, like guys that want to get on, like, it's not just going to just hoop.
Yeah.
Like you're not just going to practice and then going home like it was like AAU or like high school. Like, no, it's a full-time job. Like, you want to be the guy, like when you go to the run, it's like, oh, I already worked out twice today. Or like, like I look at like teams and like practice is over. We've been at the gym for 4 hours. I still got to get my shots up. Like, I still got to get my treatment. I still got to go get my lift. I still got to go, ice and this and stretch. And like, I got to be back later. You know what I'm saying? It's and it's the moment you're like, it's like, bro, you might as well just stop, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hang it
Like,
up.
it's like, like no one's like making you do it. I mean, like, okay, yeah, like you're gonna be told to do it. That's gonna be your job. But it's like, if you're not gonna get out of it what you want out of it if you're just not willing to just accept it and just say, all right, I'm gonna accept this and I'm just gonna make the best out of it. Like I'm gonna leave my ego at the door. I'm gonna leave my what I think I this and that. I'm just here. Like I'm just here, and whatever comes of my hard work, my dedication, my being a good teammate, my making winning plays, whatever comes of that is what I deserve. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because that's what it is. Like you can't force anything. You can't make someone else give you a contract. You know what I'm saying? You can't force them to do that. You can't force somebody to want to invest money that's coming from sponsors from another, you know what I'm saying? Like this club gets money from another company, and now like they got this money and they're gonna give it to you to bring you in. Like you can't force someone to do that, but you can earn it.
Yeah.
You can be ready. You can like just be ready. Like that's all you can do is just be ready, and you gotta earn it. Like you gotta like you really can't cheat the grind. Like you really can't. Like because it's always gonna catch up. And on the contrary, when you grind, like you're always gonna get out of it what you put into it.
Yep.
But like it's not gonna come when you want it to. Like get it when you think you just like the moment you're just like submit to it, like you just submit to the grind. Like I just say like you just submit to God's plan for real. Like be like, yo, like hey, I'm gonna just remain faithful. No matter what, I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna be a good person. Like I'm just gonna do whatever I need to do to just stay locked in. And it's like when it's my time, it's my time.
Sure.
And like when you start like moving like that, then it's like, all right, you start ending up in places where you're really supposed to be, like, and then you just got. And the thing is like, can't stop it though. Like you got to keep. There's always a next level. You know what I'm saying? There's always okay, that happened. Now I got to keep this going. Like it's got to just become ingrained in your DNA. You know what I'm saying? Because like just like that, it's like, hey, I'm in year 9. Like that's crazy to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of this stuff that I could tell my younger self right now, I'd be like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you don't know what you're talking about. And if you only knew what you are gonna have to go through to learn to like, you just gotta learn. So yeah.
No, that's a good right there. I mean, like you said, the wisdom you can see, the growth, the wisdom, you know what I mean, the knowledge, as you say, from year one to year nine, even year from year eight to year nine. You know what I mean? Just continue to learn and grind. And this is, I have to say, definitely one of my favorite interviews that I've done. You know what I mean? Just listening to your wisdom, and because I know you, but to then see and really get to really know you even more,
Mm.
right? And from a professional standpoint, and to hear your mindset as a player, because that's my thing. I'm on the other side. I'm a coach, right? So as a coach, and that's my biggest thing is trying to find the right players. And you're one of my favorite players that I always be like, yo, Tuck, whenever you're in town, come around with me or do whatever. Just got love for you. And but to hear your mindset and to know. Um, just as you were speaking to so many, because I know a lot of the guys that from around the Seattle area, and guys who want to go play pro, some who already played, and so and I know how much they respect you and your game and just everything you've been doing. And so that's why I said this is going to be definitely one of my favorite podcasts, and I'm gonna have to definitely bring you back. Or I'm gonna have to actually come over to Japan and catch a game. That's what I want to do. I want to see you actually in action over there as well. Man, I'm gonna set up. We're gonna stay in touch and because I want to do another interview with you, possibly, and we'll see how your schedule is. I know it's like a 18. It's a crazy time difference from
Yeah,
Japan and here.
yeah, I can make it work though. It's all good. I mean,
Okay, so we
yeah,
want to I definitely this year. Once you get out there, we I want to do another interview with you out there, and I see what the schedule look like, and hopefully I can make it out there and catch a game because I
yeah.
want to see you play in Japan. Because like I said, that's my favorite country, and you're one of my favorite players. Yeah, one of your guys, my man Pat, he says a long time. What's a long time no see to Tucker.
Oh, what's
He's
up? What's going on?
and so, man, I want to. I'm gonna let you enjoy your family. You know what I mean? I thank you for once again always just being a man of integrity and just you know what I mean. I love you. You're a humble dude. You know what I mean? I can hit you up and you always respond. You ain't too busy or make time. And so, like for me, I just want to give you your roses and just salute and just say how much I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Just who you are and just the wisdom that you shared on the podcast today with us. And man, let me
Appreciate that.
see.
Thank you.
Oh, you will. How can people follow you or your journey? I know you have a IG page.
Yeah, just I think I'm just at Tucker Haymond on everything.
Okay.
I'm not huge on like just trying to post every move I make and this that. When I'm over there, I'm pretty locked in, and like you say, I just like to just stay humble and thankful for what's going on, and just try to stay in the moment. And it's a tough balance between wanting to like keep everyone tuned in, and also like you know I just like not be trying to like be boastful or something like that, and like outwardly about hey, look what's going on in my life. Like
Right.
I think that I like to get on these like this because then people can like um hear how I say things rather than how I type it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I feel like that my words are definitely more powerful than like some post or something like that. And but yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Appreciate all the kind words, really do. And if I could just, I was just, I can talk, so I was very long winded, so I apologize.
No, it was great. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's one of my favorite podcasts. It was a lot of great information. A lot
Yeah,
of us got a chance to really know who Tucker is. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I think that that's the biggest thing. And just like I said, as you say, it was a lot of wisdom. Now, the young you, the who you are now. You know, those the things that you put out there was great, and that's why I just sat there. I had no problem just listening. I'm
Yeah.
like, man, this is good. You know, so hey, before we leave, what words of a wisdom or words of wisdom would you leave anyone? Because I mean, you gave a lot already, but just if you had one more that you would leave people before we get off, what would you leave them with?
Uh, I think like what I would really just say is like just embrace where you're at, like at all times. You know, like uh, it's very easy to become, mm, in a way, a little bit of a selfish mindset of like wanting more and thinking you deserve more. But sometimes it's okay to just, you know, be thankful and grateful for like where you're at now, because where you're at now is where back then you really wanted to be. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's
So like
true.
trying to not lose that perspective of that, because if, and you know, I say you, I say me, I'm just talking for me, but like if I can stay like grateful and like humble and thankful for where I'm at now, you know, like whatever's supposed to come is gonna come. But the moment I start like thinking I deserve something, right? Now I'm getting out of like, it's just like that's not how like things work. You know what I'm saying? Like just remaining humble and stuff like that. Like it's like, you know, you used to pray for times like this, you know, like you used to really want to be here. So like now that you're here, embrace it, be thankful, but continue to grind. And like if you're not where you want to be, like hey, like it's just not at that time in your journey yet. You know, like
It's good.
everyone's time is different. Like comparison is the thief of joy. You know, like if you're going off of someone else's career, like there was a lot of other guys that their careers were really great, but then it goes somewhere else, you know, and it's like, are you just comparing yourself to who they are in that moment based off of someone you see on Instagram or something? Or like, are you living your life and doing everything you need to do? So it's like, just be thankful, grateful, and just like, you know, just like, you just can't cheat the grind, man. Like, and just embrace it. Like, hey, man, you're not making the money that you want to be making. Like, go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no one else's, like no one else is responsible. Like it's really like you hold the keys and the ability to do whatever you want to do, and just go out and just like be humble and just be ready to like just be ready for whatever's yours. You know, like just be ready for it and just do it with the open mind. You know, and 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 you know, Ryan tells me a good thing. I'll end with this is like don't be the creator. You know what I mean? Like don't think like you're not the creator. You know, like obviously like God's the creator.
Right.
Like be the receiver, right? So like just receive your blessings. You know what I'm saying? Like just receive it and just be open and just be like just be thankful and grateful and just be here and now. You know, like you don't need to create and do all this because like what's meant for you is gonna happen.
True.
And you got to start getting stuck in the future or in the past, like you can't really like be your best you right now. But if you can be your best you right now, which is not thinking in the game, not overdoing this, not overdoing that, now you're hooping or you're doing whatever you're doing at your best because you're here. You're just locked in. And then whatever's gonna come is gonna come, you know, like, and maybe it's not basketball, maybe it's
Right.
something else, you know. So that's really, I'm trying to master that still to this day. And so I think like the mental part of the game right now for me is, you know, is really big for me, and I've seen a lot of growth in that, and it's something I'm still trying to every day get better at. You know, we all got things we got to get better at, and that's it. So
Hey, man, great words of wisdom to end the show with. Hey, I want to tell everybody, hey, thank y'all for tapping in the Street Ball to Pro live and unscript. This is my man, Tucker, aka the White Heat. You know what I mean? Mad love to you. Gerald said my guy Tucker, straight bucket and fellow bulldog. So
Yes, sir. My God.
so hey, I want to say thank y'all for tapping in with us. We will be coming back. I'm gonna be bringing back Tuck on. Just follow. Once the season get going, I'll make a post. We don't know when, but he will be coming back. And I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be back. Sometimes I don't know if it'll be Sunday with the unit. If not, then I know next week I do have a couple more hoopers that are gonna be coming through. So I want to say thank y'all for showing me love. And it's the ambassador signing out. Until next time, we all eat. All right, Tuck.
Thank you, my God.